the time.
Well, hello, my name's Ralph and welcome back to the channel. It's my time, let's go. Today we're going to do something a little bit different and I'm really looking forward to getting out of the house. I don't think I've been out of here for a month probably. In winter time I rarely go outside because I don't like the cold at all. But today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to head up the mountain to a friend of mine, Josh Markey. Now Josh runs South Mountain Cycle up there and he's a Valley boy originally and has moved back home after many years and set up his shop, and he's got a dyno up there. So I'm gonna go up and visit him today. He was down, a year or so ago, helped me out with some questions, and it's hard to find time to get out and visit people, but I'm washing my hands of it. I'm taking the day off. I'm going up there. So I'm gonna see if I can get some film and take it with me, and I'm sure it's gonna be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. So come along, let's go, let's get loaded up, and let's head up the mountain. So look at that, this is me out on the road. You can see we got snow on the sides of the road here, but the roads are nice and clear today. We had a bit of a rain sort of storm, I guess in some areas, not too bad for us, but the rain came through and washed a lot of it away, and the temperatures are milder today. So the roads are a lot better, so I'm looking forward to that as we climb up over the South Mountain, because it can be pretty nasty and icy up there. But I think today's going to be a great day, so we picked a good day for doing it, and I'm pretty excited about being out and going up there to see and dynoing something today. So stick with us. I'll get you some more when we get closer. Yeah, so we're heading up the mountain now, and the roads are getting a little slushy, but not bad for up here at all. Looks like we're here at the turn off. I just missed it. Hello!
Hello!
How are ya?
Not bad, how are you doing?
I got up the driveway.
Oh, that's good.
It's a little dicey. Yeah. Rest of it's not bad though.
No,
rest of it's not bad.
Slippery up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, geez, I'll bet you. So glad to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So glad to get out of the house. I tell you, I know it's been over a month and a half.
Yeah.
Probably. I never leave.
Yeah.
The old lady brings me everything.
Yeah.
I got no need at all, so. I'm here with Josh today, and he's a little camera shy, so we're gonna break him in hard here. Just get him to babble on about stuff, as I always babble on. So we're gonna do some dyno runs today.
Yep.
A little bit. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to that. I've been stoked about that.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a dyno room since Toad had one years ago.
Yeah.
With Ralph running it there, and I had something in there dynoing and stuff. That was the last time I was in. I always thought it was pretty cool. That's the thing about dynos that a lot of people don't realize. First thing I get from a lot of people is when they talk about a dyno, they go, "Oh, put my bike on there and it'll just blow up."
Exactly.
I'm gonna run it wide open, but it's not the story at all.
Yeah. The wide open part's just a tiny bit of it, where all the other time, most of the time is spent.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there strong.
That's just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
At the very end, the finish.
Yeah. It's funny how many guys have that in their head though.
Yeah.
They always think it's just scream it. Yeah, well, if that's the only number you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to do that today, and we're gonna look around and have a look around in the shop, show you some of the stuff we got here, and make it quick and painless. So how about you just start showing me a few of your tools here, your tool room, and a few things you got on the go there, and we'll just pop around.
All right. So over here we've got the cylinder bore table for punching out your cylinders. Say if you wanted to go 1450 to 1550 or 80 to 1200.
Yeah.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Does a nice job on them.
Yeah, that's just an old junk cylinder I was
just something
testing
playing with and stuff there, but geez, puts a beautiful pattern in there. I don't think you won't be able to see that in the dark here. Let's try another one. Probably will.
That was a nice little find. That was found that in New Brunswick a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I can't say that I remember seeing something like that. They always
usually they got the boring bars.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they quite a big piece of machinery, but that's nice and compact, clean.
I still always want to get a boring bar, but
always want.
Yeah.
Always want. Yeah. All right. So it looks like I got everything you need in here.
Yeah. We got the press, my valve grinder, and then the cylinder hone. So then after the boring table over there, come over here and slap them in the torque plates, and then you can do your final sizing. Got the different grits of stones and.
The little valve grinder you just acquired that?
Just picked that up. Yeah, still gotta go through it, make sure it all works and everything. But yeah, it was what I had before was one of those little new way
for doing the outside of the valves?
The outside, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen those.
Yeah, not fun.
No. Using new way cutters for doing the valves. Yeah. I've had my set for years. It was worth every penny.
Yeah.
Worth every penny. Yeah. You know, I get lots of guys ask me now, "What do you got these, got that?" And then I go look at the price of them again, you know, and you go, wow,
yeah.
you know, so, but, you know, they're just, God, I've used them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're a little hard on the wrist sometimes, you know.
Yeah. You're not as nice as the fancy Surdy machine.
No, but it'll more than do the job.
Exactly.
More than do the job, yeah.
And you're nicer on the pocket.
Yeah. So it's nice. So it's nice to have
comes in handy.
Have a separate room for take care of stuff. A little bit of gasket selections and stuff there for you.
Here's the office personnel.
So you got this little lathe you just picked up too?
Yeah, little lathe mill combo. The head swings over that way for milling.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Rotatable?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it pops over there. So
wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's coming in handy already, but still got to go through it and make sure everything's proper. And then right now I'm just kind of setting it up, trying to get away for holding cylinders so I can cut the bases of them, clean up gasket surface.
Oh yeah. So they're the big bull nose.
Yep.
That ain't snap-on.
No.
That's nice little size. Like I always say, you know, it's mostly the small stuff that you're dealing with, from axle spacers to real, you know, any of that kind of crap.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have a small one, you know, for doing that sort of stuff. And that would be the biggest that you would be into, is putting a cylinder on there that you would really have to deal with, right? Yeah. I suppose you could make a faceplate there. Do you have a flat plate here that you can bolt to?
No, I gotta get that too. Okay. And then I want to even investigate.
You just don't use them. I have mine for like shovel heads and things, and you can bolt the head right on it, put it in a 4-jaw chuck, and then you know you can surface it off and stuff like that, right? You know, so
I was even thinking too, I want to see if I can make a plate for this and then swing that around, and then if I can get a fly cutter big enough and then have it set up for running the heads across this way to fly cut.
Yeah. You know, speaking about that, my buddy Jimmy, we did my engine cases up at his place. We had 2 halves put together and resurfaced them and stuff like that. And I thought, I have a big fly cutter, 3-inch one, and I thought the same thing. I said, you know, we'll just put fly cutter in there and cut that across.
Yeah.
He said, no, he did it all with like a 1/2-inch mill.
Oh, okay.
You know, made the passes and everything else, He said the fly cutter just, you know, there's too much chance for one being out a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a gouge, you get this and that here and there. He said this thing just take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But if you got a good sharp cutter, you know, when everything's locked in so it can't move, you do actually. And I have tried it, you know, with some other things like that. But you know, he's right like that. You know, you might have that sort of different sort of look because you machined it, but it's just a light piece of sandpaper and everything.
Clear it right
it's
back
gone,
up.
right? So very cool. Yeah, that'd be very helpful. That
actually, this summer would have saved me a lot of trips to the local machine shop. I had a customer brought in some wheels that he got on Marketplace that the person sold them to and said, "Oh yeah, they'll direct fit on."
Oh yeah.
So this would have been perfect for making all the spacers and.
That's right. For that kind of stuff. So that's what I find doing a lot of, right? Like that kind of stuff is spacers, and as I said, most of my stuff, you know, even, you know, nothing's that long on the bike. You know, axles and everything you can do on a small one, right? You know, so bigger's not always better when it comes to this stuff, and your room.
Yeah, exactly.
Your room, right? Yeah. So what's your plans for this one?
That one we're putting some air suspension on it. And put some cams and then tune it in the dyno once it's all done.
What year is that now?
2014.
And what'd you say? It's a breakout.
Breakout.
I like the oil tank.
Yeah, it's a pretty sharp bike.
That's why I wondered if it was a deuce or something at first, because they, you know, those ones they really put different fork legs and all that kind of stuff on. But that's a really nice machine.
Almost looks like like a dragster, kind of how it's set up.
Well, you can't beat that when it looks fast sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the idea, right? Yeah, very nice bike that. That's the catalytic converter that come off of that bike.
Yeah.
My God, it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like trying to push stuff through a tree trunk.
Yeah. It's crazy though how much they flow. You wouldn't think they would, but
But you can see where they get cobbed up.
Yeah, where it get plugged up,
right?
over time or something.
Yeah. And when you're doing this sort of thing, the restriction on the flow, like over noses, right?
And the biggest thing is heat. A lot of complaints of heat on the passenger or the rider's leg.
Oh, is that right?
Because I think the chemical, whatever chemical's in it, I can't remember the exact name, but it's designed to get up to like 600 Fahrenheit to burn the NOx and emissions and stuff off. So
That would pump out a lot.
Hot,
Wow, that would pump out a lot of heat. Holy. Place for everything and everything in its place. You must have cleaned up because my wall don't look like that.
Yeah, it's usually not this clean.
Well, this is the me wall. Looking like I'm important.
Yep.
Did you go to AMI?
Yep.
I seen the poster there.
Yeah, and I think that's January.
One's at Fairview College.
Yep, and then there's another.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Right.
98.
98.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years behind me.
Yeah.
I was 89.
89 when you went there?
89 went there, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it's not even there anymore.
No. Somebody said, you know, I had my old roommate contacted me through LinkedIn or something, and I get this weird message and it said, this guy's trying to contact you, it's Carl Fend. And I'm like, I never knew somebody whose name was Fend, P-A-G-N-D. I said, can't be. Sure enough, there's a guy I roomed with for 6 months down there.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Hadn't heard from him, you know, afterwards. Anything else, right? Yeah. He's going, Ralphie, hey, how you doing? So yeah. Was Kurt Heinrich still teaching there?
Yep.
Kurt was still teaching the course then for you, yeah?
Yep. I remember.
He was a great guy.
I remember we were doing Ironhead Sportsers at class, and then they were at the back of class, and my desk was at the front.
Yeah.
He said, all right, go grab your engines and bring them back to your desk. And he said, I'll help you. And I said, oh no, I can do that myself. Grabbed an Ironhead and I made it about halfway through the classroom and then dropped to my knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah. He was a good teacher, you know, but he didn't fuck around. He had no patience for guys that didn't know what they were doing by the time they got there. You know, when I was down there, he would always pull those pop quizzes on Fridays. Pop quiz, kiddies!
Yeah.
You know, and if you didn't get them right, this is what a such and such opinion shaft, the keyway at this, and what is it? You know? But I was there to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I sucked that up. I love that kind of stuff then, right? But a lot of guys just like, what do you need to know that for? You know, and stuff. But, you know, then I see a lot of them go back and repeat.
Yeah.
Repeat.
I still have his little book, the What Fits What.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. What fits what, and that other one with Harley Parts or something.
Yeah.
Ones like that. Yeah, but he knew his stuff, boy.
Oh, yeah.
He knew his stuff. Yeah, and that little Sportster he had was just when I was there, he had a little one there, and I remember a couple of guys taking me for a ride. It was just like insanity.
Yeah.
It was just insanity, right?
He told us if we could start it, we could ride.
That's right. Yeah. It was just nuts. I seen that thing run. I was like, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
You know, how do you put that much power in a little Sportster, right? You know, but,
I still have the piece of paper somewhere. He wrote the recipe for that.
Is that right? So, here we go. I don't know what you feel like. You're in a police station now, right? This is where it gets down to the nitty gritty, right? Jeez. No, I guess I got a few things I just want to ask you. One, I guess we'll just start with like you remember where it started getting you into motorcycles when you were younger?
Yeah, I think I always.
Were you always intrigued by them?
Yeah, Dad always had one growing up. And
is that right?
And then we had dirt bikes when we were kids and that. But I think the Harley part, I kind of remember it. I was outside, and I'm not sure if it was going down this road or down the mountain. I heard a bike and probably an old shovel head with straight drags, and they chopped the throttle, and I heard, wah!
Oh yeah.
And it's like a little kid, and I'm like,
I hear that.
Yeah. I think that's the moment the Harley.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? What did you start out with? What was your first bike?
Remember? First bike was like a 78 TT80. I can't even remember the designation.
Little 80, yeah.
Because it didn't.
Yeah.
The side covers were missing.
Yeah.
It was a piece of crap.
Yeah. I had no 85cc Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And I lived in Edmonton, Alberta. You know, there you could drive at 14.
Anything under 100 cc's, you were allowed to drive in the city. So that's what I started at. But I knew so little about them at the time, and I'll never forget my father. My father taught motorcycles through part of his military career to do off-road stuff and things like that. So we always had bikes home. But I do remember that he came home one day and he said, "What Christ are you doing out there with that bike?" And I looked at it in the backyard, and I had a flat with it, so I had turned the thing upside down on him, just like you would a bicycle, right? All he wanted was, "You don't do that with a motorcycle," he said. So that's how much I knew about it, but that got me into it, you know what I mean? It gave me that sense of freedom at that age to get out and run around and stuff, and it just never really stopped from there, I guess, you know. And I was always the same way when I seen the guys rolling with the Harleys and the women, and, you know, even at 14, it was like, ooh, I want to be there, you know, so, yeah.
Especially living out here, this is the property I grew up on too. So having a dirt bike, even when you're younger, just to...
Out here, in the rural areas, you can just run anywhere you wanted to go. When did you start working professionally, I guess, as a Harley mechanic? Or you went to AMI, as did I, so that was in 98, you said?
Yep. Yeah. So graduated high school in 96, went to King's Tech for recreational vehicle mechanic, it was called back in 97, and then went to AMI in 98. And then as soon as I got back from AMI, remember they used to, if you wanted, they'd send your...
Oh yes, send you out into different Harley dealers and such.
So they sent resumes out, and I think the first one was Windsor, Ontario, they called, and then... So,
oh really?
Yeah. So then I moved up there and started in the dealer in March of 98.
Oh, so that's how you ended. I wondered how you went from here to there, you know, what drew you there, but it was working for them. And you worked for them right through to you...
Yeah, I
came down here?
I moved back home in 2004 and worked at Toads from April to December, and then moved back to Ontario, went to a different dealership in Chatham, Ontario.
Right.
And then ended up going back to the original dealership that I started at.
Yeah. So you got like 20 years in dealerships?
Yeah, it'll be 28 years in March.
Really?
Or I guess 24 years in dealerships.
In dealerships before you decided to set up on your own. At least that probably gave you a good idea of what you wanted to do here at Chase, you know. I always think that it's great for you, and I hope that business gets nothing but better, and I'm sure it will the way things are. But having the dyno and doing that kind of service is something that was really lacking here, you know, through the years. I mean, I remember when Toad had the dyno, and they did some stuff down there, you know what I mean. But it didn't seem to attract the attention so much so as it does today. Yeah. You know, and maybe it's because it wasn't so imperative. Yeah. The workings on them, since we've gone fuel injection and blah blah blah, you know, they're more pernickety machine that need that sort of tuning. So when I heard you were coming back home here to do that, you know, to bring the dyno and specifically do that, I thought, man, that's just a great niche. You know, everybody needs a little niche to carve out a piece of the market, so to speak, right? But that being said, it's not like there's a lot of bike shops per se today like there used to be either. So it's nice to see you get into something that you enjoy doing, like the dyno and stuff, and that takes up your time. Yeah. Rather than changing tires.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Still do those.
Still gonna do those, but that's the way that goes. Yeah.
When I first left here in '98, and then I remember saying to Dad, I said, I'll come back in like 2 years and I'll open up my own shop. And I wouldn't have known enough to open up my own shop after 2 years.
Yeah. How long have you had the dyno yourself? Were you working on dyno stuff before you purchased your own? Or?
Yep. So we used the one in the dealership. So
okay.
Yeah. So it's been about 15 years on the dyno that I've been.
Wow. Really? Yeah.
And I've had a tiny bit when I was home when I worked at Toads. We used to do a little bit there. But.
Yeah. So how long have you had your own dyno?
I've had that since we opened, and then I had it a couple years before that. So 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you bought that when you came home here to use at home? You mean?
Yeah. I bought that for here. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. Yeah. Specifically, yeah. Ah, great. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. It's paying off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one came from New York, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I was totally impressed with the infloor.
Yeah.
I've never seen one myself in floor. You know, so that's just a space saver as well.
Oh God. Yeah.
You know, and getting the bikes in and out and off of it, and like you say, crawling around maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes not so good, but you learn to work around that.
Most of the time, it's either changing a clutch or something once you get it on the dock and realize the clutch isn't holding.
Oh yes, yeah.
So instead of unhooking it and dragging it out here.
Yeah, you're crawling around the floor like a reptile. Yeah. I know what that's like. Yeah. So Josh was saying that back many years ago, and I don't remember when he was younger that he had a bike he was working on and actually got parts from me for the chopper to.
Back in high school.
To keep it going, like it's funny now. Well, I'm old now, but it's those things go by, and I get that once in a while. My father used to, and different things like that. But yeah, I've been there, been there a long time. I've been very fortunate to stay there. I mean, I think we all enjoy as many headaches as there is running your own business. There are the perks of being your own boss. Yeah. When you have something that's pressing, you can go do it. Yeah. And we all learn to work longer hours or later at night, make it up for that sort of thing. Yeah. Exactly. But I think that there's a lot to be said for the personal end of life, right? And I think that's where the whole motorcycle thing for me has made me through my whole life been able to do whatever I wanted. Yeah. Basically, or the ability to shut the door for a week. No, it's all good. It's all good, Josh. I'm glad to see that you made the move to come home and set up here. I think you really got a service that's needed here, not just needed, wanted. Yeah. It's the way of the future. It's way different than what I'm doing with the old shovels and stuff, and it is the way of the future. And more and more so, guys are more. I hate to use the word power, but more oriented that way to wanting to squeeze the bits of power and want that much more. Not that they're going to be at like 140 all the time. Yeah. But they sort of look at motorcycles today with it's a tunable thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's something I can make faster. It's something I can not that you couldn't always do that, but in the older days it was more of a mechanical thing. Yeah, exactly. Put a big bore kit in. But today, because of the internet and everything, everyone's more educated on it, and they see so many options, which all require a dyno, as far as I'm concerned. Any of them that say they're just going to tune them up and do anything comparatively to what you can do with that dyno is sadly fooling themselves. Yeah.
Even you probably shouldn't, but get off the bike while it's running, and then you can get to have found problems that way. Where you'd be out on the road, you'd never find it.
Right.
I had one actually. It was it would start stumbling. It was the ECM, and the only way I found it was pop the seat off. I had the bike on cruise, and then just tap on the ECM, and it would start.
Oh, really?
Start acting up.
Really? Wow! Trying to find that.
You could test ride and go over a bump, and it would act up. You come back and.
Yeah, can't make it do it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Well, that's the stuff we all hate.
Yeah.
I always say when a guy's got a problem and I'm taking it apart, I get scared, but I go, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go and when you find the problem, it's just like, it's like really? Let the bells ring in, the banners fly. There it is. Yeah. I know that's what it is, right? So, yeah, it's satisfying in that in the end, being able to fix things as a mechanic. It is satisfying, and lots of frustration, lots of hours at night, lots of all that goes along with it. But when it's the bonuses, they make it worthwhile.
Yeah, even after all these years, and I still get up in the morning and not like, ugh, I don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
If I was doing something else, you'd probably be.
That's right. I want to thank you for getting me up here today. Yes. I know it's been. Actually, I looked at that video when you were down helping me out with the Black Pearler with my trike, and I think that's been like a year and a half ago.
I was gonna say it's been a while.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just amazing how time flies. But this is a good opportunity. Not busy today. People aren't bugging you. The phone's not ringing. And I said some people wanted to drop in today about some things. And no, I'm out of here. My brain's going, first time in months. So I'm leaving. I don't care what you want. I'm going. Come see me tomorrow. So I thank you very much for having me out.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. And I'll try to get up more through the summer. Yeah. I tried a couple times the past summer, but I didn't come far enough. Yeah. I kept going and going and going and thinking, God, I missed it. Yeah. And I did miss it this morning. Yeah. Went by, seen the sign there. Well, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go too far, you come down to a tiny small bridge and turn around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Good. All right. See, that was painless.
we've had a little look around, and I bored Josh and making him tell me what everything is. Now we're going to go in for the fun stuff now. Yeah, let's go in here and have a look. What will we?
The fun room.
Into the fun room. Oh, Jesus, you're all in the floor.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow. Wow, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, one of my buddies of mine that had one dyno in the shop and then a dyno in the trailer, and then we were talking years ago, and he said, if you ever go on your own, he said, get one that goes in the ground. He said, you'll appreciate it when you're older. And he said, I fell off one of the above ground ones. I turned off one years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It is nice.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I'd be honest with you, Dustin. I mean, I've been a big dyno guy, but I've never seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen it in the ground one like that.
Pit models.
Yes.
The only thing about it, you got to work on it or something, then you're crouching on the ground. But
Yes. Yeah.
so right now, I'm just starting to tune this one and recalibrate everything for the exhaust and cam change. So this is a little example of. So when it came in, it had neighbor hater mufflers on it.
Neighbor hater?
Yeah, Cobra neighbor haters. So this is your torque and this is your horsepower. So before I started diving into fully tuning it, I wanted to make sure I get some mufflers that are going to cooperate with the cam.
Yes.
So the blue is what had the neighbor haters on it. So you can see quite a dip here and then a big dip in torque there.
Oh, yes.
So I knew when you look at them, they're pretty straight through. The Milwaukee 8s, they like to have a little bit of restriction.
back pressure,
pressure. So I had a pair of S&S Grand Nationals that I know work really well on this bike. So I stuck those on, and then at first they didn't even work perfectly. There was a little bit of a dip through here. So then what I did was I took the left baffle out, and there's a decibel reducer in it. I welded a washer to that decibel reducer, tried it on the left side, right side, back and forth, and then come up with, on the left side, smooth it right out.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So now I know.
Just from that, just from changing
that,
the back pressure on it.
And these are just wide open runs,
Yeah. So how long does it take you to do a dyno service on a bike? Then let's say you put cams in it,
Yeah.
and then
Start to finish, once it's in here, probably usually around 5 hours by the time you're all
that
set
right?
done. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes more, some.
depending on how it goes.
Depending on how complex the combination is or something.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Between that and trying to dial each individual thing in, and then a test ride, and then you know, like I say, if there's a hiccup there, then there's something else you have to deal with. And the idea is to get it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, everything's get the bike running
not
smooth and
dips and stuff in.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes when you talk to them about stuff with cams and stuff, they don't want to admit to themselves that most of the time is spent in the mid-range
Yeah, exactly.
in there, you know, and that a lot of times you get in the cams and they're too big, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's great if you're going to be wide open most of the time.
Yeah.
That cam will work great, you know, it'd be mud in the bottom.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
and they get caught up all in the cubic inches and you know, bigger, and, you know, you hear other guys talk about them and don't realize that, you know, all the other components got to match to make it all work. Again, it's back to what we were saying of realizing how it works and why it works, and instead of just punching numbers in trying to get past that position, so to speak, right? That's why you got to do it that old school way. You can't help yourself.
Exactly. I'd like to get so I don't have to do it, because that's the time consuming part.
Yes, I was just going to say that it probably takes a lot of time, a lot more than what people think.
Yes.
Must be very satisfying though. When you're done.
Yeah.
You know, when you got it and you look at it and you can look at it and say that was crap.
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, and of course the customer driving it is going to be like, holy shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't realize how bad it was. Right?
Yeah.
On the line, the steel beast waits. Engine humming, destiny's gates. Tires kiss the rubber floor. A whisper turns to thunder roar. Sensors glow, data streams. Numbers dancing, neon dreams. Every torque, each rev we chase. Finding where the limits race. Spin the wheels on the dyno stage. Feel the power break the go dim, the dado stays. Fuel injects a perfect spray. Combustion sings in bright array. Exhaust sings its metallic hymn, while pistons pound in perfect scene. RPM climbs, the needle climbs higher. Josh makes sure she's screaming fire. We read the line, we fine-tune the soul, turning raw steel into pure gold. Spin the wheels on the dyno stage, feel the power break the cage. Josh adjusts to the power peak. We ride the curve, we chase the tweak. When the lights go dim, the data stays. A story told in torque and blaze. The bike now knows its fullest stride. South Mountain Cycles made a perfect ride.
So if you enjoyed this video today, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, do those kind of things. It helps us to grow. I had a great day up there visiting Josh today, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video. He's got quite a shop set up there, and he's quite an asset to the valley here to have someone that can do that kind of work. So if you're looking for anything, you're putting cams in your twin cam, you want to squeak that more power out of it and anything, Josh, South Mountain Cycles, that's the way to go. You can check out his website, southmountaincycles.ca, and you can go from there. Now that I've had a day off and a day out, I feel great. So I have to do that more often probably to get out. It's always great to visit with friends that are into the same thing that you are and that do different things, and we can discuss things. We're all on the same page. So be sure and check them out. Josh Markey, South Mountain Cycles. Just to stick it in there, be sure to check out my brothers down south, Hippie's Chopper Corner, Slick Heads Custom Cycles. Be sure and check out those boys, subscribe to their channels, and give them the support that you need. All right, stick with us. We'll see you next week.